What's up, everybody? This is Ven, and I welcome you to the Mock Spotlight, where we take apart what you build. For today's episode, we'll be taking a look at a creation called Dino Riders Monoclonius, I think that's how it's pronounced, with Mako, created and posted on BZ Power by username Roa McToa, whom you all may know as the same Roa McToa who created Akutan way back when. Before we get started, of course, as always, I must clarify my method of reviewing, which involves a point system that is based on three fundamental attributes: the overall appearance of the mock, the build of the mock itself, and the concept and ideas behind the mock's creation. Each quality will mount up to 5 points, leading up to a final score that will be determined at the end of the episode. And please remember, this is all based on my opinion. Now let's get this started. Dang, bro. Where do I even begin? There's like so much to this mock, I'm already kind of lost. Okay, no, how about this? We'll look at the big dinosaur first, and then we look at the little guy named Mako, and then we'll look at the thing as if it had been accessorized. Alright, game plan set, let's get this done. This dinosaur thing is really neat looking. I love the way that these colors were handled, especially the teal, which is commonly known to be a rare color that is generally difficult to work with since its availability and part variety is so sparse. But Roa really made it work. This pattern of texture for the underbelly that follows through to the tail, that's incredible. I also noticed that this sort of technique was used for a good bit of the dark green too. The torso especially, with these Anika limbs clumped together to form another pattern of texture. I really enjoy this technique of just lumping a bunch of similar parts together like this. I don't know how she gets away with making it look so good. And I gotta give props for working this well with dark green in general, because in my experience, dark green is a tough color to work with if we're talking bionicle elements. Because I swear, this color needs to come in a wider variety of different parts. Anyway, the whole design of the dinosaur flows so well it almost doesn't even look like it's even made from Lego parts. These legs have such a realistic shape, the tail is enormous yet unobtrusive, and this head design? Ooh, mama, this just looks fantastic. However, one thing I'm not feeling too much is the lower jaw in the dinosaur. This is one part of the mock that I feel does not convey the same sense of flow and consistency as the rest of the mock. It looks really rough compared to the other teal parts of the mock, and really, it's because of all these Technic beams and their holes that give this thing a weird new texture on its jaw. I guess it really isn't all too bad in the bigger picture, especially considering that there's a function in the head that kind of forces the jaw to look this way, but it's still something that takes away from the mock's appearance for me. But it's just one thing. That's a small thing, I guess. Who knows? Maybe I can look past it. Now, Mako here is an interesting little character. He's decently unique, I'll start with that, but man does he feel empty. Aside from the head and bits of the torso design, the rest of this build looks pretty basic and kind of uninteresting. Good thing he isn't the focus of the whole mock though. Again, I really like the head. Looks like LJ without his mask, take my word for it. Alright, moving on. These accessories look pretty great, gotta say. The saddle here has got a good bit of details with this sort of control panel interface and whatnot. It's a neat design, interesting to see that it's made up of system. Normally I wouldn't have a problem with it if it wasn't for the texture of the studs here on the outer part of the saddle. Yeah, this doesn't look all too great to me. I honestly wish Roa had used some kind of flat panel pieces to cover this up or something. I'm just not a fan of how this looks. All the other accessories look all smooth and such. You know, not much else I can say about these aside from they all have a great design, and they especially look great when thrown onto the mock. Not literally thrown onto the mock, but I mean, like, applied to it, you know? Altogether, this looks like something straight out of Ark Survival Evolved. I mean, I am really impressed with the final results. The cannons on the sides, the helmet, man, but again, the studs on the saddle up here definitely not working for me. This texture doesn't go with anything else on the mock, and it really bugs me. It shouldn't bug me so much, but I guess since it's such a large part of this mock, there's so much of this texture in just one concentrated area, I can't help but fixate on how much it clashes with everything. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I need a therapist to whom I can vent all my frustrations and cry about all my personal problems and grievances. Alright, good God. That was a lot of talking for just the appearance. I promise everything else will be much shorter. As far as the build goes, this creation looks pretty solid. Without a shadow of a doubt, this dinosaur can hold up really well. It's four-legged, which already gives it that advantage for balance, but everything is so thick and built to be packed together, I'm betting that this is a pretty heavy mock. Not heavy in the same vein as like a set of dumbbells, but heavy enough to surprise you if you picked it up like, whoa, this has a little bit of weight to it, huh? You know, there's just a lot going on here, and I'm really happy to see that. I'm also happy to see that this mock has some functionality to it. It's got this really cool action feature built into it, like the kind that you'd see in a traditional action figure. As Roa demonstrates in the video, you like tickle the dinosaur's hind leg or something, and he snaps his mouth open and closed. Like, whoa. That is some insane bionicle engineering there. And then obviously there's the option of including or separating all these accessories from the mock. A really cool feature given that there's so much to it already. In short, it's like this mock was designed to be the ideal kid's toy. And you know what? That's because it's based on an actual kid's toy. You see, Roa McToa grew up with an old toy line from the late 80s called Dino Riders, which, as the name would suggest, involved a variety of characters riding dinosaurs and fighting each other, all Autobot and Decepticon style. So, with that, Roa hoped to create a Bionicle mock based on these toys, making incredibly accurate recreations that even retain the play features from their original counterparts. And conceptually, this mock is the results of these hopes. And man, to say that the goal had been achieved would be a massive understatement. Just look at this. This is the original toy that this particular mock was based on. And now look at the mock. Everything is nailed straight on the dot. The colors, the shapes, the features, the function. Everything is faithful to the source material. This mock is amazing. Now, sure, I do have some problems with it, but those are so minuscule compared to how much I appreciate the epic scale of creativity and thoughtful designing that went into the whole thing. I think anybody that doubts the versatility of Bionicle parts should just take a good look at this mock, and perhaps the Rose as well, to get a reminder that there are so many options presented to you. Regardless of whatever parts you get, just so long as you have a bunch of parts at your disposal in the first place, I think you can build pretty much anything. Alright, that's enough blabbering. You probably think I'm just kissing Roa's toes by now, so let's just get to the final scores, shall we? In terms of appearance, this mock receives a 4.5 out of 5. Okay, yeah, I know you're thinking, oh, come on, Van, really? But I still have a problem with how a few things look, like the texture of the saddle, the lower jaw of the dinosaur, the somewhat bland design of the rider. Like, don't get me wrong, I still think this mock is awesome, but I still don't think it's exactly perfect looking. In terms of the build, this mock receives a 5 out of 5. Do I really need to sum it up? It's a great build, it's got a function, a great, well-implemented function at that, and it's got all these little features thrown into it. It's solid, man. It's solid. And in terms of the concept, this mock receives a 5 out of 5. I'd be surprised if anybody could do this mock better, let alone accomplish such a task at all to the same degree as Roa McToa. She did it. She successfully recreated a little 80s toy as an epic Bionicle mock. And sure, I have a couple of nitpicks about how it looks, but come on. I can't deny a job as well done as this. The creativity meter is skyrocketing here. Now, we're left with our final score of 14.5 out of 15. Okay, screw it. 15 out of 15. Because you know what? This mock is so great. It does more than cheat. It's a good mock. It's a really good mock. So great job on this, Roa McToa. You did more than a great job, really. This is a fantastic job. Definitely one of the best mocks I've seen in a long time. I do hope to see more out of you. And you know who else is capable of making a great Bionicle mock or any LEGO creation in general? You, viewers. Anybody can do it. It doesn't take talent, it takes experience and clever thinking and creativity and all this other jazz that, you know, anybody is capable of once they put their mind to it. So how about you put your mind to it? make something really cool, post it on our message boards at board.ttvpodcast.com to earn yourself a very high possibility of getting your creation featured on the Mock Spotlight. So again, board.ttvpodcast.com, go to the LEGO Creations category and post whatever you got there. Because if you don't receive feedback from me, you're going to receive feedback from somebody else. And hopefully that somebody isn't going to act like a jerk and they're going to genuinely try to help you improve if your mock needs improvement, or genuinely compliment you if your mock looks awesome. You never really know until you try. And I'll do my best to keep an eye out. So, thank you all for watching. I'll see you all next time.